Welcome! Today, we're going to tackle a huge question for parents. How do we coach our teens for what comes after school? Not just for the next test, but for the messy, collaborative, real world that's waiting for them.
I mean, think about it. We pour so much time and energy into homework, grades, and report cards. But let's be real for a second. Is that A+ in history class the only thing that's going to matter when they land their first job? The material we're digging into today suggests there is a much, much bigger picture.
And this right here, this just nails the problem, doesn't it? School, a lot of the time, is like training for a solo mission. It's all about their grade, their work. But the professional world, that is a team sport, 100%.
So this quote, it comes from the story we're exploring, where a teen named Andre is just feeling this immense pressure from his parents. And you can just feel it, right? That constant push for academic achievement, sometimes, at the cost of everything else. It's a feeling a lot of our kids know all too well.
Okay, so what if we just flip the script on this? What if we started seeing our teens' life not as a string of tests to pass, but as the ultimate training ground for the skills they're actually going to need to succeed? And to see how this works in real life, let's follow the story of Andre and his buddy Max. They took a simple school assignment and, kind of by accident, turned it into their first startup. And what they learned along the way was something no textbook could ever teach them.
This right here is the heart of it all. That group project they're dreading, that weekend shift scooping ice cream, even just figuring out chores at home. These aren't getting in the way of their education. They are the education. They're basically low-stakes practice rounds for the high-stakes game of a career.
You know, when Andre and Max's teams started to argue and disagree, their first thought was, oh no, this is a disaster. But what's so fascinating is that, according to this model, they were right on schedule. That conflict phase, it's called storming. It's not a sign that things are broken. It's actually a necessary step that every great team has to work through to get to the good stuff.
All right, let's get into the playbook. As their parent, their coach, your first move is to help them figure out where they shine in a team. And spoiler alert, it's not always about being the boss. It's about finding their unique superpower.
And this is so, so important. We have to redefine what leadership even means for our kids. It's not always the person with the loudest voice or the official title. Real leadership is about making a meaningful contribution no matter what your role is. So in the story, this is Andrea's role. He's the one who keeps everyone on track, who helps smooth over disagreements, and just keeps the whole project moving forward. He's the glue. And then you've got his friend, Max. He's the creator, the spark, the one who has the wild idea in the first place saying, hey, what if we turn this into a startup? He brings that out-of-the-box energy that gets everything started. Now, every single team absolutely needs an analyst. This is the person who keeps everyone's feet on the ground. They're the ones who say, okay, cool idea, but have we thought about this part? They make sure the dream can actually become a reality. And it goes even deeper than that. Frameworks like the one from Smart Teens, for example, show that a great team is really an ecosystem of different talents. You need the person who organizes everything, the tech whiz, the big picture thinker. Every single role is crucial. So just take a second and think about your own kid. When they're working on something, what's their go-to move? Are they the idea person, the planner, the one who makes sure everyone's getting along? Just noticing their natural style is the first step to coaching them well. Okay, playbook page 2. So they've found their role. Now, how do you help them turn all those great ideas into something real? Let's talk about some practical tools that pros use every single day. So when Max first threw out that startup idea, Andre's instinct was to shut it down. But then he remembered this brainstorming technique. And that third rule, no criticism, it is a total game changer. It lets all the ideas come out, good, bad, crazy, without anyone feeling judged. So they have this exciting idea. Now what? You can't just run on good vibes. A goal like, let's make a cool app, is a wish, not a plan. So they brought in a classic tool straight from the business world, SMART goals. Honestly, this framework is pure gold for just about anything. It forces you to get super clear about what you're doing. It takes that fuzzy, I want to do well feeling and turns it into a concrete, actionable roadmap. And here's what that looks like in practice. Look how different this is from just saying, we need to test the app. This is an actual mission. Everyone on the team knows exactly what they need to do, how they'll measure success, and when it needs to be done. Okay, so we've talked about finding their role and making a plan. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about the end game. What is the real win here? Because it's not the app, and it's not the grade on the project. The real win is the whole messy process. It's the arguments they figured out, the deadlines they managed to hit, the different roles they tried on. You're not coaching them to get a perfect score. You're coaching them to build a foundation of skills that will last a lifetime. The source material calls these the 4K skills of the future: critical thinking, creativity, communication, and coordination. These are the skills that companies are desperate to find, and they're exactly the kind of skills that project-based systems like Smarteens are designed to build. I just love this quote. It really sums it all up, you know? We spend so much time preparing our kids for the solo levels in school, but life is a multiplayer game. Learning how to be a great teammate might just be the most valuable skill they ever master. So the next time that dreaded group project assignment comes home and your teen lets out a huge groan, try to reframe it. It's not just a school assignment, it's practice. It's the training ground for their future. And if you want to explore this with your teen, Smarteens has a free assessment that maps exactly these gaps. You can find it at smarteenshq.com or on their social media at SmartteensLHQ. Think of it as the first play in your new coaching playbook.